it's your boy a.dTHEweeb back in front of the video. Now this you're gonna do right now was in contact with the otsutsuki part 9. So yeah, anyways, I'll get you the 50 like for the next part. This is the next part will be pretty much the final part. So yeah. I don't know. Hope you guys are excited for the end of this series, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, anyways. After this series I will be the wife Naruto was the overlord is a fan fiction, so I will keep uploading it, but it's not really gonna like count as a series I'm focusing on because I don't write the script for it, so it's not really gonna affect me all that much. So yeah, it's just gonna be like a side story, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, after I'm done with this series, I'm gonna try to do what if Naruto was insane and had a younger girlfriend. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't want to do that one so soon, to be honest. But I will do it because you guys asked for it. But yeah. Anyways, guys, feel the 50 like for the next one, and for further ado, let's get this video started. Started off with Bella, Yaku's younger sister, as she was in a dark prison cell, as she had seals all over her arms and legs and basically over her body, as she was not able to use any chakra, and one of her and there was also a seal on her head, like her forehead, so that she wasn't able to use any mind communication techniques, something like that, kind of like the Yamanaka thing. So yeah, completely basically putting her in a state where she was completely and utterly defenseless, as she would basically have chains attached to her, each of her limbs, and she was not giving special treatment and treated the same as basically any other prisoner, just uncaring in harmful ways. So yeah, pretty much the same way as any other prisoner. So yeah, even though she was only 4 years old, as due to the chains holding her, she was not able to sleep all that much or get basically any seconds of rest due to the chains not being long enough so she could like lay on the ground or anything. She was like basically stuck, kind of like half sitting, like half standing or something. But yeah, basically she was held in mid-air, so her limbs were hurting quite a lot, as she would basically be looking down at the ground, thinking about a way to free herself to get her sister, like to get to her sister. As she remember how her sister said that she was going to come, like freaking hell. She remember how she said that she was going to come and help Yaiko from trouble when she got into some trouble, but was now looking at the scene, like of the irony, seeing that she was currently the one in trouble, not her sister. And she started to silently cry as tears streamed down her face, as then she would hear the sound of rusty metal moving against rusty metal, as she would basically glance up looking to see who opened the door as of her cell, as she would basically see Minato, Mema, Hinata, and Kushina enter the cell, as they would stop in front of her, as she would look back down, as then Minato would say, "So what is your name?" As she wouldn't answer, as Kushina would say, "Come on little girl, just answer our question, as so we can set you free and stop your suffering." As then the girl would raise her head, and then as she would say, you filthy mortals do not deserve my name or anything for that matter, as she would look down again, as then Hinata / Hama would say, "Enough, we have come here for answers, not to make friends." As then she would say, I see that you have similar features to that girl Yaiko, and have related, or you related to her in some way. As Bella, hearing the name of Yaiko, her sister, her head would shut up immediately as she would say, you know where my sister is? Take me to her now. As Mima would say, and why would we do that? As Bella would take a deep breath, as she would say, "If you do, I will answer one question of your choice." As Minato would smirk about the her answer, as then he would say, "Oh," she would say, "What the fuck?" Oh yeah, never mind. As they'll basically go over their options of just like torturing her to, I don't know, she breaks or something, or just doing the thingy where they'll release her later on. As Miyato would say, okay, and my question is to you is why did you come here? As Bella would look at him for a second before taking a deep breath, and then she would say, well, I came here to the lower realms of the human because I wanted to make sure to stay as close to my sister as possible and make sure that she was safe. But it seems that the oh freaking hell, it seems that the exact opposite of what I wanted happened. As then they say, so now can you take me to my sister? As Mema would smirk, as then he would say, did you really think that we were actually uh, going to take you there? As you, are you dumb or something? As then Bella would kind of be shocked, and to a degree, but not too much, to be honest. Well, yeah, actually, she would be pretty shocked since back home she was never lied to, so this was kind of new to her. So yeah. Then Bella would say, so if you freaking if you won't let me go, what will you do to me? As Mema would smirk, and as he would say, I will use you to track your sister and make sure that she becomes loyal and obedient. Make sure that she does everything that I tell her to the very details. As freaking as she was about to as you were about to continue on how he was gonna like force her to do what she wants or whatever, but he would stop. As then uh as you basically see that Bella had raised her head and started smirking. As the smirk kind of creeped the people out, kind of, and they as then Mema would basically say freaking would say, what are you doing? Why are you laughing? What are you smirking at? As she would simply ignore him and kept on smirking. Meanwhile, we go over to the Hidden Leaf village itself, like the outside instead of the underground prison. As we see a light that was basically shooting to the village with massive speed, leaving death and destruction behind it as everywhere it passed through, basically. As it would stop to reveal Yaiko was really, really pissed off, and chakra was leaking from all over her body, as the great portion of chakra was like destroying everything that it got close to. As the village was getting destroyed, and countless amount of villagers and ninjas were basically in ambush and everything was basically trying to stop her, only to die in seconds. As she would basically kick my guy away as he was charging at her, as she would basically as he would crash into a building, destroying them and causing him several injuries. As then Yaiko basically raised her hand, putting as so much chakra into her palm, as the chakra would be seen coming from her palm. We oh freaking hell. The chakra could be seen coming from her palm, uh, as it would start to create a giant ball of chakra as it became black, as she would basically point it down at the village, as then she would release the giant ball of chakra at the village. It would explode, destroying the whole village, killing most of the people there. Meanwhile, back in the prison cell, as we see Bella would say, "Well, it looks like Big Sister is mad." As Miyato would say, what do you mean?" But was interrupted by Umbo coming into the room, like the cell, bleeding, and he was about to say something, but he was interrupted as there'll be a blinding light and everything would explode, as they would all get sent flying away, as Miyato would flash using several kunai to catch Kushina. While Hinata flew using Hamua's power to catch Mema, as they would lay on the ground safely. Bella, on the other hand, due to her having her chakra sealed away and of that, and she was not really able to move due to her chains and everything, she was basically not able to move and save herself, and was pierced by a giant metal rod to the chest. She would cough up blood as she would look up to see her sister, as she would fall to her knees, as Aiko would see this and be shocked and pissed off, but really worried at the same time, as she would basically lunge down towards her sister, as she would stop next to her, as Bella would say, "I'm sorry, big sister, I should have listened to you. Please forgive me, and don't blame my death on yourself, and tell mother I love her when she comes back, and most importantly, know that I will always love you." As she would basically cough for some blood and fall face first into the ground, as Aiko would look at her hands to see that it was covered in her sister's blood, as she would basically have a look of absolute horror on her face, as tears would start to stream down her face. Tears would start to stream down her face, as she would say, in a very low voice, saying, "It's all your fault." As she would keep saying it's all your fault over and over, as then she would say, making "I'll make you pay" in a kind of loud voice, as she would basically saying, "I'll make you pay. I hate you all of you will pay. I'll make you pay." As the sky would become darker and the clouds would become kind of like the clouds and the sky would become dark, and wind would start to blow, making the clouds go faster, and the wind would be quite violent, as then she would let out a scream, as a massive amount of raw power would come rushing out of her body, destroying everything in its path. The whole village and everything would be completely destroyed, not even rubbles, just flat land. As then Naruto would just appear on the scene, as he would see what happened to Bella, but didn't know who she was. But seeing how Yaiko was so pissed and crying over her, he guessed that it was someone that she knew and cared about. So he started to think of a way to help her, as then he got an idea, as he would carefully walk up to Yaiko and say, "I have a way to save her, but I will need you to keep the people away from me for a while." As Yaiko would calm down a bit to the point of thinking properly and nod, as she would dash at Hinata, as she would start to beat on her quite badly, as then Hinata's eyes would become dull, like as then a white beam of energy would basically shoot out of her, as she would basically send Yako flying back, but not as far as she had wished, but still far enough to free herself. As she would say, "Dear sister Yako," as Yako would basically look at Hinata in a really weird and confused way, as then boom, Yako would basically launch Yako would just lunge at Hanabi, Hanabi freaking hell, Hinata grabbing her neck as she would start to slam her into the ground. As then she would say, "It's you. You're the one who betrayed mother." As she would basically make a ball of energy. It was it was like a Sengun, but it wasn't. It was like a mixture of a tail beast bomb, as she would like a miniature tail beast bomb, as she would like slam it into Hinata's stomach, as it would explode, sending them both flying away from each other. As we see Hinata had major wounds all over her body, as Yaiko would dash forward at her, trying to finish her off before she could recover. As Miyato threw a kunai in her way, as Yaiko would see the kunai appear in front of her. As in yellow flash, then Minato would appear in front of her, as she would put her hands, as he would put his hand on her shoulder, as they would basically both disappear in a yellow flash, as they would appear about 5 feet away from Hinata, as then Minato would jump back, as wounded Kushina from the explosion would basically the single hand sign, as the ground under Yaiko would glow as a bright white light, as Kushina would smirk, as then Mema would come and say, "Good job, mom," as she would basically he would walk up to Yaiko, stopping right in front of her, as right in front of the glowing white light, basically, as he would basically smirk and say, well, look who you have here, all trapped and can't defend herself." As he would, sorry about that, I got a little bit interrupted. Anyways, look who you have here, all trapped and can't defend herself. As you'd point at the glowing white light and say, "Those are a lot of very powerful restriction seals." As she would glare down at him dangerously, making him kind of nervous, but then he would come back due to his pride and thinking that she can't do anything. Whatever. Due to his pride and knowing that she can't move, as then Minato would say, "Little brat, you know what you have done? You have killed so many of our powerful ninjas." With an angry look on his face, you will be executed. As Mema would smirk and say, "Wait, Dad, I have a better idea." As Minato would say, "What is it?" As Mema would say, would get an evil, creepy smirk on his face, with a lot of other creepy emotion and everything, like weird emotion basically on his face. As then he would say, "Well, she was the one that killed all of our precious nin, so why not make her give us new ones? It's only fair, wouldn't you agree?" As Minato would basically look at Yaiko and say, "Yeah, you're right, but who would be her master or mate, whatever?" As Mema would say, "I'll do it. I mean, if we just break her mentally and make her stop resisting, she would be a good basically a, I don't know, freaking like, she wants to turn Yaiko into his sex slave, basically, alright? Anyways, she'll be a good sex slave, basically, considering her looks." As he would smirk, as then, meanwhile, we see Naruto had pulled a rod out of, like, the metal rod out of Bella's chest, as he would be putting chakra, like healing chakra, to keep her alive. As then he would bite his finger, as he would slam it into the ground, his hand into the ground, as he would say, "Summoning Jutsu, King of Hell," as he would basically put Bella in the King of Hell, as it would swallow her whole, as then it would spit her out, as she would be here or whatever. You know how the King of Hell work, right? And yeah, as she was basically completely fine, as she was completely healed and everything, as she would start to think Naruto and everything like that, but I'm not going to go over that because I don't really feel like it. But yeah, as basically, yeah, just know that they got basically really close. Meanwhile, well, kind of close, like now to learn about her being Yako's sister, basically, and that she came here to basically help Yako, not to do anything like stop her or anything like that. And she kind of, I don't know, freaking hell. Just know that they got close, for fuck's sake. Anyways, meanwhile, in the outline of the village, as we see all the Kages and the Jinchurikis, due to them getting news of the, oh yeah, actually, yeah, due to them getting news of the attack and heard that the Akatsuki was involved and wanted to take advantage of Konoha's weakened state, as they all had a massive army, as then boom, a giant explosion and a giant cloud of smoke would happen in the middle of the giant field that was once the Hidden Leaf village, as the smoke would clear, revealing a group of people. All of them had black cloaks, red clouds, and white outlines, as one of them with an orange mask and the other with yellow hair and purple eyes with piercing all over his body would step up, as they would say, as and say in a low voice, but was spread out with chakra, making everyone could hear it, as the man with orange hair would say, your God has come and demands that you give the Jinchurikis as over to us, as the Kages would disappear and not disappear, disagree very, very quickly, as then the man with orange mask would step forward and say, in the I, the great Madara Uchiha, declare war on you all. The fourth great shinobi war begins now. As you could see a red glow to his one visible eye with from the mask. It was like a red Sharingan, but with a weird pattern. But this was from Gravity. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought of this one. So yeah. Anyways, 50 like for the next part / the finale, which hopefully will be out by like Wednesday or something. Wednesday or Tuesday or something like that. No, Thursday, my bad. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think of it, and I'll be releasing part 2 of the Overlord probably tomorrow or something, if it's not already out. But yeah, because I already recorded it like before this, but I'm not sure I should upload first. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'm out. Peace.